your dog is toy or food motivated, I like to start my Threadle in a very similar way each time. So I try to set the dog, I like to use platforms a lot, so it's a stationary thing for them. And I can set them up in the same position. And when I'm first doing this exercise, I lead them out and I'll show them my arm. I'll say in, yes, super, and then I'll feel the reinforcement when they take the jump so they know I want collection. So I don't want them to do the hand touch. I think I have them do the hand touch and then the jump, but they really need to learn how to do that collection. And from where I'm at now, like why would I ask them to turn this way and go back? So if they don't have their Threadle sliced down, I wouldn't start working on your Threadle wrap. Because after your dog has your Threadle slice, and by knowing their Threadle slice, you make sure the dog will be on this line. And if I'm over here and I say in, yes. If they're taking the jump, then you're fine. But if they're not able to do that, then I wouldn't move on to the Threadle wrap. Because with the Threadle wrap, is I just start like here with my Threadle, and then he's like, I already know what you want. Go back to your bed. Go back to your bed. Good. Back to your bed. She already knows what I want, and so then I'm just trying to move more and more laterally. So how a session would work with her is sit, in, yes, super. And I do like to use my manners binder, which I can do that in another rep, but just for the sake of how I started this drill, I try not to lure the dog. So I try to move laterally more and more each rep, just so the dog understands, like when I go like this, they know to commit to the Threadle, and I try to make it on an easy line for them, especially to start, just so there's no discrimination and their success rate is really high and they just get confident driving around the wing. So if I said in, yes, super, good job. I ask her to go back to the platform, good girl. And then I'm gonna be more lateral this time so you can see I'm parallel. Get back on your bed. Then in, yes, super, good job. I'm gonna get even further back. In, yes, super. The big thing is I want my dog to be really confident on this before I start pulling this platform back to make this more of a discrimination challenge. So, be further behind, way far behind, here's my foot. In, yes, super, good job, good job. And so once she's successfully committing to it with me behind, then I'm gonna start pulling the platform back to make it more of a discrimination challenge for her. So now I pulled the platform back. I'm still putting it in front of the wing here. And then I'm just gonna kind of rebuild it in the way I did and just kind of see where she's at. You gonna go back to your bed? Good. I'm going here. In. Yes, super, good job. Good girl, good job. Go back to your bed. Good. I'm gonna do this from you being behind. Good, sorry you can't see me, I'll be more lateral. In, yes, super, good job. So you can see I can build a really complicated image and get really far laterally in just a couple reps. And I like to build these pictures up and then make it more of a discrimination with her before I add in my motion. So now I'm gonna move this over because she's done a lot of this. And I'm gonna move it up here. In, yes, super. So she's getting that discrimination. Now I'm gonna slowly start adding in some motion with it. When I'm teaching discriminations, I don't ask for the front side of the jump with her. Because really, I just wanna see her confidently driving every time I say in. So if she goes back up onto this bed here, I'm just gonna go here. In, yes, super. So I try to make my motion really slow. If she was struggling with my motion, then I would just stop in place like this. Nina. Good, okay? Good. So if your dog is struggling to commit, just walk in place and go in. Yes, super. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Which makes it a lot easier. And so now I'm just gonna slowly keep pushing up my momentum to see where does she start struggling with her commitment, which this is, we're gonna find this out there. And I'm gonna be working on her lateral thing, so each rep I'm gonna try to pull a little bit more laterally each rep. In, yes, super! I always try to make sure I'm throwing the reinforcement away from me, so she knows that the reward isn't going to come from me. If she commits to the jump, the reward is going to be at the jump. Once you put the pressure in the reward system at the jump, it takes a lot of their value for coming to you instead of taking the obstacle away. And this is something we've been working really hard at. And you can tell she's kind of hesitating here, so she's not very confident with this skill with me running away. So ready? And